Hi guys. I know it's late. It's Tuesday, and I know a couple of you night owls will hop on here, but I missed you guys. And I just thought that I'd show you some new goodies that I got, and we'd make a quick card tonight. So first thing is, we're gonna make this card, but I want to show you where it stemmed from. I don't know why, but I've had some kind of poinsettia obsession here over the last couple days. Hey, Dee. Hi, Sue. So this is a Tim Holtz stencil poinsettia, and what I did here on this card was I took some of this Spectrum Noir metallic wax. I took a sponge and I sponged it on the background here so it has some shimmer to it. You see that? And then this was one of those Season's Greetings hot foils that we did. And then Tim Holtz die, which I believe came out either last year or the year before. Hey, Tracy. Hi, Ann. Hi, Dee. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Wilda. So what I did, if you guys have never seen this, I picked it up at Hobby Lobby. I think it was last year. And it comes with the die, and it is a Biggs die, so you got to have a regular die cutting machine. This is definitely not going to fit in the Gemini. And it comes with an embossing folder. So what you do is you cut out the little shapes, which I don't have in front of me, but you basically cut out the shapes, and then after you cut them out, you run them through this little embossing folder. So you puzzle piece them in where they go, you put them in here, and then you run this through your machine, and it creates texture, and then you glue it all together. So this is 1, 2, 3 layers on this one. So it's a large of the green, a large of the red, and then a medium red, and then you have the center. And all I did here was I took, again, that same texture paste or metallic wax, whatever you call it, Nouveau Mousse, same kind of thing, and I rubbed it on the top. So the green has some green shimmer on it, and then the red has some red shimmer on it, and then I just put it on the cards. So that was a quick and easy one. I mean, it looks like I spent a lot of time, but it really didn't take that long, but I like the texture on there. So that's the Tim Holtz Biggs Texture Fades poinsettia, and it comes with the die, and it comes with the embossing folder. Okay. I don't have a Cuttlebug. I think they do, but I'm not sure, Sue. I know they fit through a Big Shot or Big Kick machine. You just use 2 cutting plates with this. You don't need any other shims with it. So then, while I was playing with that, I also got some stamps from Blue Night Rubber Stamps. The owner, Lynn, she's local for me. She's in Maryland, which isn't too far for me. She sent me some Christmas stamps, but I was coloring last night. Was this last night? 2 nights ago? And I didn't want to take the time to show this because it would have taken forever. And you guys know that I don't edit my videos. And honestly, I don't know how to record it and fast forward it. But all I did was I stamped this castle. And this is the wide castle. And I just took some Copic markers. And I took a lot of inspiration from Antonia. I will have to think of her page. If you guys know Antonia's page, she always does like Copic coloring. So I took some, and she does this night sky. I cannot remember her page now, and I don't have my phone in front of me. If you guys can remember it, I'll link it at the end of this if I can find it. But I love watching her page and her channels, and she has Instagram. It's Antonia. I cannot think of it. I will think of it. And I was lucky enough, actually, I won one of her prize boxes with some of her stamps. She always does like coloring. But anyway, I digress. So all I did was I took the cool grays, so C0, C1, C3, C5, and I colored the castle, and I just kept coloring it until I thought that I had enough dimension. I just did the darker colors on the outside, and I left it lighter in the middle so it looked like the castle was kind of popping out. And then for the sky, I colored the sky in like blues and greens and grays and purples until I got it dark enough. And then I just took a white opaque pen and drew in the stars. I really like this card too. So I'll be sending that. So you guys might see this one on the, oh, and I put a little sparkle shimmer on the moon. I know it's hard to see. But anyway, Lynn sent me some more stamps. So I wanted to share those with you guys and make this card. So the one that we made this card with is called the Poinsettia. And you can see it's a very large, easy to color flower. And that's what I like about it. This one I really like too. So this one has the pine cone, it has the little sprigs there, and then it has the frame, and it has two sentiments. It has Merry Christmas and Holiday Greetings. I have the Merry Christmas mounted because I just used it, but they're nice, and they come on this backer sheet, and they're already, the paper's peeled for them, so they're ready to go. And then this one, Whimsical Holly. So I thought this would be cute to do like borders. And I really like this one. Look how cute this one is. Christmas Bunny. Isn't that adorable? So I'm going to do this. I think we'll do like a distress ink background with the starry sky. So I'll be doing some more with these guys. But these are all from Blue Night Rubber Stamps. So I was looking at this and I'm like, this looks so fun. Like I really want to practice coloring this or watercoloring this because it's large and I think it would be very easy to make it look pretty without having to do too much. So I first stamped it out, and again, I'm using just regular Nina Solar White paper. Oh, by the way, one of you guys had asked me a question about using the Gemini foil press with regular dies if it would void the warranty. I did email Crafter's Companion a couple days ago. I have not gotten an email back yet. They're still not happy with me for doing the experiments that I've done, so I don't know if they're going to email me back or not. In her previous email, she said to me she didn't mind if other companies' dyes were used, but they didn't want like Toto dyes being used or dyes that were thicker than 1 millimeter. But I do not have a technical answer on if it would actually void the warranty or not. But I did ask. So as soon as I have an answer, I'll let you guys know. All right, back to the card. So I stamped it out because we're going to be watercoloring it with VersaFine Clair ink, which is a waterproof ink once it's dried. So I stamped those and let them dry, and you can heat set them if you want to speed that up. So I have those ready to go. I have two here. And then I have a little bucket of water and a little paper towel here off to the side. And there was a couple ideas I had. So first idea I had was, well, I could use watercolors. I can use watercolor markers. I can use color pencils, all that good stuff. But I had these things on the desk because I just used them the other day. These are the Spectrum Noir metallic wax. And I have the red, green, and blue, which I got from HSN. They came in a set of 3. You could also use Nouveau Mousse. And I don't know if any of you guys have heard of this company, Heritage Handcrafts. This is the original, like way back in the day, of the grandfather of texture paste. It's a 3D dimensional stencil paint, and we used to take this with a credit card and run it through old metal stencils, you know, before stencils went to all plastic, and we made our own 3D dimension. And now you have Nouveau Mousse, you have these guys. What's the other company I have? Metallic gilding paste, all the same kind of stuff. But let me show you. I know I've showed you guys this before. I'm not even lying when I tell you this jar is at least 10 years old, probably closer to 15 years old, and it is still ooey gooey in there. There is no mold. There is no drying out. I mean, this is super good stuff. So I have a jar of gold, a jar of silver, and a jar of copper, and they are all good stuff. And this will last you forever. If you can find this, if this company is out there, definitely invest in this, because I can tell you I've never, ever had a problem with this stuff drying out. All right. So anyway, all I did was I took these. I have a couple paintbrushes. I have a little jar of water here, and I just colored it in. So a couple things you can do. You can use your backer sheet here. Again, this is heavy duty backer sheet. you can take a little of your paints or your metallic waxes, whatever you guys want to call them. I'm so zoomed in here that it's hard to keep everything in frame, but I want you guys to see everything. And you can take a little dab of water and take a little bit of that and put it on your little backer card here and make that your palette. If you want to do that, or if you have the tonic, your multimedia mat or your glass mat or whatever. The other thing is I was just dipping into the lid. I have a little extra here in the lid. I was just dipping into the lid. So a number of different ways without having to get anything special out for these guys. And by having it out there on the palette, you can put this lid back on and keep this so that it doesn't get all dried out. So I have a little brush here. I have my little palette. I'm going to move the red out of the way for a second and just go in. And this is a silver number 4 brush. I just bought these on Amazon. They are a little pricey, but they are nice brushes. I will say that. I mean, I don't watercolor a lot, so any paintbrush will do. But all I do is just water it down a little, dip into there. The higher the concentration you want, the thicker you want it, the darker the color is going to be. If you think the color is too dark and you're not seeing enough of your image and you want some highlights, then just put more water in there and that will lighten it up. Also, I think the more watery it is for me, the more control I have. I think when it's too thick, you get like dry brush strokes and then it's too hard to work with it. And because this image is drawn and it's such a large excuse me, image, it's very easy to color. There's not a lot of detail to it. Not like the castle. I love the castle. It's very beautiful, but there's a lot of small areas in that castle. Where with this, it's much bigger. It's easier to work with it. And honestly, how many of your friends are going to think you stamped this? They're going to think you guys took a marker out, drew it, and colored it in. They're not going to know it's a stamp. It has that hand-drawn look to it. Okay, so we're done with the green. My little paper towel, clean that up. And then we're going to work with the red. And again, if you have Nuvo paste, this technique will work. You just scoop some of that Nuvo paste out onto your craft mat. Here, I'm just going to kind of use my lid as my mixing palette. So I just scoop some of that in there, water that down. Now, I have never used Inca Dinka Gold or whatever that stuff's called, but I heard that sometimes it does dry out and sometimes it might get a little moldy. I've never had any mold issues in any of my Nuvo pastes or any of these gilding waxes, anything, none of those yet, but I always try to make sure I'm using clean water and clean brushes, and that's why I dip a little bit out of the jar and put it here onto a separate palette when I'm mixing it. Now, at this point, I am just doing very wide strokes and just at this point filling it in. Just like when you're a kid, you just color it all in. And this is a little bit larger brush. This is a number 6 brush because I wanted a wider brush for more coverage. It has a fine enough tip that I can get down into the little points there of the flower. And what you guys can't see is this paint is very shimmery. It has that pearlescent shimmer already in it. I forgot to tell you, over Thanksgiving, I went to IKEA, which is about an hour drive from me. It's by my kid's grandmother. And I was like, oh, I'll just look around. Yeah, right. They had that giant bookshelf system. What's it called? The Calyx, and it has like 25. It's like all squares, and it had like 25 of the squares. I gave in and I bought one. It was like $20 off. I bought one because I need it. But I was like, okay, there's my Christmas gift to myself. And it comes in like 4 boxes, and I just had me and the kids. And even though Xavier's 12, you know, he's still a boy. I mean, he's a tall boy, but I'm like, Xavier, you're going to have to help me get this in the car and then get it in the house, which we did manage to get it into the car and get home. I drive an SUV, so that wasn't the problem. But when we got home, I was like, how are me and this kid going to get this down to the basement? So I just basically unloaded the boxes right from the driveway into the garage. And they're huge. They're huge, heavy boxes. And there's 4 of them. Plus I bought a Billy bookcase. So there was actually 5 of these giant boxes. And we just kind of slid them out of the back of the car and put them on the garage floor. Well, today, Leah's dad came to visit her. And when I got home from work, he had taken all the boxes down to the basement for me. So that was nice. So now I have all of these boxes down here, and I just need to take the weekend and get my power tools out and put it all together. So I'll be excited when that all comes together. I also got that that pegboard organization system, which was very inexpensive. I want to say that pegboard was less than $20. And then you buy the little buckets and hooks and things like that. And they're all only a couple dollars each. So once I get it all together, I'll let you guys, I'll do a video so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, so now I have it all filled in. You can kind of see some of the shimmer. You see that? And I'm not using a whole bunch of water. It's getting it enough so that it moves the paste around, not super watercolory wet. So I have enough control. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in and I'm going to get more paste. But when I get that paste, I'm not going to water it down. I want it to be a little more concentrated. So I am going to water it down a tiny bit, but not as much before. And what I want is this more concentrated red color. And just from the center, I'm just going to follow the design of the drawing from the artist here and just pull some of that color out. And as it dries, you'll see we have this darker red because this is what we're putting on top, and it's more concentrated in color. It hasn't been watered down, and it gives the flower a little more dimension to it, I guess. Any of these petals that I think would be underneath, they would be a little darker, so we would fill those in a little more. And I've told you guys, I'm not an artist. I did not take art class. I'm just a crafty person like you guys are. I had another company contact me over the weekend saying that they have a new set of watercolor brushes. To me, they looked very, very, very similar to the Arteza water brushes, the markers. So they're going to send them to me. I'll try them out. I'll let you guys know what I think about them, and if they give me a discount code. All right, I think I'm done fussing with the flower. Tracy, one of my friends, is going to Pittsburgh tomorrow. One of my employees is going to Pittsburgh tomorrow, and I'm so jealous of him. And I'm like, no, I want to go. All right, so now I'm just going to use this gold, this Heritage Handcrafts gold, and just do the center. And again, I just have a little bit in the lid there. I just need a tiny little bit. Let me go back to the small brush here. Hello from Malaysia. Wow. So I'm just taking this gold, and all I'm doing is just coloring the gold in. Nothing fancy. I'm not staying in the lines. I'm just sticking it down in there. That's it. And what's cool about this paste is it dries super quick. So you'll be able to put your card together. So what I did while I waited for this to dry, just moved it aside, grabbed my card bases. No, Dee, I really wanted to, but my partner manager left the company. So I'm the only one there. So definitely cannot go to Pittsburgh for the weekend. I have to make it through this month until we can hire somebody else. All right. So this is just a piece of Stampin' Up! Cardstock. And I'm going to cut this to be the match. So I'm going to cut this to 5 1/4 by 4. I know. I was really, really, really thinking about going too, and just like, surprise. But that's okay. And then this is a piece of red cardstock, which is just cut down to A2 size, normal card size. So we have a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 base, and then we have this 5 1/4 by 4 matte. And of course, we're doing green and red for that. Heidi, I work for a Lexus dealership. I am the one of the sales managers. So if anybody needs a Lexus, we deliver all over the country at no extra charge. And it is December to Remember event right now, which is our biggest sale of the year. Yes, I will definitely make a ride out there, Tracy, for sure. All right, so our card base is ready to go. Oh, I was out of camera. You guys didn't even see any of that. All right, so now this is pretty dry. We want to stamp our sentiment, and the sentiment I'm using came out of that little pine cone set, and I just used this Merry Christmas sentiment, and I have that mounted, and I'm going to be heat embossing it. And so we have our anti-static tool, anti-static bag, or whatever you want to call it. And we're going to use Versamark. And I didn't want to go with like a glittery embossing powder because I thought that would be way too much with the shimmer on the paste. So I'm using Brutus Monroe Emerald City. And I like this because it's green, but it has these tiny little flecks of gold in it. Heidi, I've been in this car business for almost 20 years. I'm afraid to admit that. But yes, almost 20 years I've been in the car business. You know, I started as a salesperson, and then I became the finance manager, which just means like I printed a whole bunch of paperwork. But also then I became used car manager, new car manager. And I just always thought, you know, cars are cars because that was just business for me. But when I got to this Lexus dealership, boy, oh boy, did my view of things change. I mean, those cars are just so nice. They're so beautiful. They ride nice. They're quiet. They're reliable. They're just really nice cars. So I no longer just think, oh, cars are cars. I really, really enjoy driving my Lexus. Okay, we're going to heat this up so it's going to get a little noisy. All right, now I'll see if I can show this to you guys. But the embossing powder, I wish you guys could see. See how it's raised? It's green, but it has these tiny little specks of gold in it. And I thought that just goes so well with the flower, and it's unexpected. So then we're just going to take our trusty little glue and glue it down. Because I didn't use a whole bunch of water, there's not a lot of warping in the paper. So regular liquid glue will hold it down. You don't need to go to foam tape or anything like that. Oh, I forgot to cut this panel down. Darn it. I knew my panel was too big. Scratch that. Next idea. Improvise. I can't cut it now. I have glue all over the back of it. So now it's a white on white card. There we go. Lizzie, that is Emerald City from Brutus Monroe. And I think this is available in the store. I'll link it for you guys after the video. I'll link everything so you guys know where to get it. And so now we have two beautiful little poinsettia cards. Oh, and then I have these little stick-on sequins. We can put those on. I think these came out of an Anna Griffin kit. Ta-da! So you see the sparkle and the shine, and you can see the different depths of the color. And those of you that are waiting for your prize boxes, I did mail the rest of the prize boxes out today. I'm sorry for the delay. But those, I really appreciate you guys. And we're growing so fast. So yes, we will do more giveaways the more we grow. I really do appreciate you guys. The next videos I'm going to be doing this weekend, I'll give you guys a sneak peek here. These are the new items I just picked up from Stampin' Up. And again, I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. So if you don't have anyone, I'll be happy to help you out. But Stampin' Up just came out with this limited edition winter set, and I wanted to show it to you guys. Let me move the camera up so you can see a little better. Bloop. And Alicia from Crazy Paper Chick, if you ever watched her channel, she is my Stampin' Up upline. She was my demonstrator, and her Stampin' Up upline is Dina Rico from the Creative Cave, I think is the name of hers. But I'll link those for you as well. But they came out with this limited edition set, and I wanted to show it to you guys. So this is called Snow is Glistening. It's a photopolymer stamp set. So you can see it's clear photopolymer. And I liked this tree. And I really like the snowflakes. But look at these fonts. Sending a blizzard of wishes for a wonderful season. Each snowflake is beautiful, sparkling, and special, just like you. Merry Christmas to you, and peace on earth to all the world, and joy for you. So very nice sentiments without being too holiday or too Christmas. And I'm going to do these with this new Sukaneko Frost White paint, which is not too different from what we just used. It's a very thick kind of white pearlescent paint. So we're going to try some of that out. And what I was really excited about was these Thinlit dies, guys. So this is a 2-pack of snowflake dies. So here's this beautiful snowflake and a swirl. Here's a nice detailed snowflake. This one has the snowflake and then also the outer edge. But this one, I think, almost looks like a flower. So this could serve as a flower or a snowflake. And you can do the inner part or just the outer part. Here's some more snowflakes and then another snowflake with an outer edge. What I really wanted to do with these guys was use them as hot foil dies because you can foil the back side. So I was going to hot foil these. So you can use them as cutting dies or turn them over and use them as hot foil dies. Hello, Heidi's 7-year-old. What's your name? And then you get two. So you get this larger one. And they're nice because they're stackable. So you can cut out that, and then you can put this in there and do different glitters or different foil papers. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with these. And then you have these little sprigs and leaves. So again, you could go along with that whole flower theme. I mean, this one here could be a flower. It doesn't have to be a snowflake. And then you have these tiny little snowflakes as well. So I just really fell in love with this die set, and I started immediately thinking about hot foiling. And so I got the stamp set as well. And this is called Snowfall Thinlits dies, and this is a special edition set right now through Stampin' Up, which I will link for you once we're done here. And then I also picked up the Alpine Adventures stamp set. I didn't get the stamp set before. I just got the dies, so I picked up the stamp set. You guys have seen me make cards with the little sled and the little presents, so I just thought this was a cute set to pick up. And these little embellishments. These are called snowflake trinkets. And what I liked is there's a couple of different designs here. I think there's just 2. Let me just make sure here. But you get a whole little tin of them. There's 2 different designs here. Let me see if it says how many come in there. 20. 20. They're pretty heavy duty. I mean, these are not little. You could almost see there's a little loop at the top of these. You could almost put a little, what's that called? An earring hook on there and make these dangly snowflake earrings. They're heavy duty. They're not cheap. And they have this little gem in the center. So I was actually thinking of tying some silver twine on here and having like a little necklace for Leah. But you could make earrings. You could make... And then, again, you can use the front side. You can use the back side, whatever you want to do. But they are metal, and you get 20 of those, and they're called snowflake trinkets, and these last quite a while. I still have ones from Stampin' Up! Years ago where they were all pretty. All right, so we showed some stuff from Blue Night Rubber Stamps. We showed some stuff from Stampin' Up! We made a card today. We got everybody to fall in love with Brutus Monroe's embossing powder, which who doesn't love that anyway? And that's it for tonight. Hi, Liam. Leah, do you want to come say hi to Liam? His name is spelled like your name, but he has an M at the end. Leah's about to go to bed. She's fighting it. No, his name is Liam. Do you want to say hi, guys? You want to close out? What do we say when we're done? Thanks for watching.
Keep on stamping.
Keep on stamping. If you like this video, give it a
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, post them down below. But I will go through and link these products where I got them. I'll also link the Stampin' Up! Stuff if you want to get that before it sells out. And I will be making some videos with those this weekend. And I will also link all of the Blue Night Rubber stamps as well. But thanks for watching, guys. I love all of you, and we will be back this weekend.
And green candies.
Green candies. Okay. Bye. Say bye.
Bye-bye.